Good evening. I trust you are doing well, and many thanks for choosing TV47 Weekend to inform you. My name is Musa Salah. Mbesa is our sign language interpreter. TV47 Weekend begins right now. President Uhuru Kenyatta has issued a gazette notice announcing the recruitment of 4 IEBC commissioners. The 4 positions were left vacant after Commissioners Roselina Kombe, Paul Kurgat, Margaret Mwachanya, and Connie Maina resigned in 2018. The search for new commissioners is expected to kick off in the next 7 days as electoral observers insist that time could betray the new commissioners as the electoral body prepares for the much anticipated referendum and next year's general election. With less than a year to next year's general election, President Uhuru Kenyatta has gazetted the recruitment of 4 new IEBC commissioners. The 4 positions fell vacant following the resignation of 4 IEBC commissioners, with Roselina Kombe ditching the electoral body a few days to the 2017 repeat election on the 26th of October 2017. Former IEBC chairperson Connie Maina and Commissioners Margaret Mwachanya and Paul Kurgat also exited the commission in April 2018. Last year, President Kenyatta signed the IEBC Amendment Bill 2019, paving way for the recruitment of the new commissioners. The IEBC Act now requires that a panel be formed to oversee the search for the commissioners.
It's a panel which is made up of 4 members from the Parliamentary Service Commission, 1 from the Public Service Commission, 1 from Law Society of Kenya, 1 from NGEC, that is the National Gender and Equality Commission, and then you also have 1 from Kenya National Human Rights Commission, and then 2 representatives from the Interreligious Council of Kenya.
In its first sitting, the panel will elect its chair and vice chair. The panel is also expected to publish the names of the shortlisted candidates on the National Gazette, after which the panel will conduct interviews. Thereafter, it will forward the names of the successful candidates to the president, who will in turn present their names to Parliament for debate. If Parliament approves their candidature, their names will be passed to the President for appointment. However, the appointment of the commissioners has taken over 2 years, and although President Kenyatta's Gazette notice comes as a relief to the IEBC, election observers believe the commissioners may not be ready for the referendum or the general election.
Time which could have been used for preparations for the next elections is going to be used up in terms of trying to induct them. So yes, that does affect the elections, because it does affect the elections. And considering that you could be having a referendum any time, then you are saying that if you were, for instance, to be having that referendum in June, you'd have 4 commissioners who are not ready.
Now, KCPE 2020 results celebrations entered the second day as candidates, parents and teachers continued to rejoice countrywide over the good performance in the KCPE examinations. Patronila Goren with that story from different counties.
It was song and jubilation in West Pokot County after residents stormed the women representative's home to celebrate her son's KCPE results. The women representative's son, Lee Kibet, who was a student at Kitengela International School, scored 419 marks, being among the top KCPE candidates in the country. Speaking during the celebration, Kibet said he was happy with the tremendous results he achieved, adding that he wished to join Alliance High School for his secondary education and later pursue engineering.
I want to be an IT engineer. I want to go to Alliance Boys High School.
In Machakos County, 14-year-old Giovanni Wanjama Mwangi from Ali Bad School banked 426 marks to become the top student in the county. Mwangi wants to become an oncologist to help in treatment of cancer.
All my hard work and believing in God has finally paid off. I would like to join a good university and take on a course on oncology, that is the treatment of cancer.
Celebrations marked the skies of Isiolo County at St. Mary's Loreto Primary School, where the top pupil Ashiki Kasmir scored 416 marks. Ebuya Ewoi, the mother to Kasmir, fought back tears of joy while trying to explain her joy.
Na nimekuwa na ndoto kubwa sana kwake kwa sababu hajawahi ni let down kama mama toka akiwa shule.
And I was very happy to hear that I've attained those marks. So I never thought I'd be the first one in Isiolo County.
In Murang'a County, Stacy Njoki from Emmanuel Primary School scored 421 marks to become the top student in the county. Njoki, who aspires to be a Chief Justice in the future, attributed the success to prayers.
Na nashukuru Mungu kwa alama hizo. Siri ilikuwa tu kumngoja Bwana kwa sababu ndiye alikuwa usaidizi wetu. Kwa sababu hata ukiangalia shule yenyewe ni ya kanisa. Kwa hivyo maombi kwa wingi, kuyafuata yale walimu wetu wanatuambia.
In Kilifi, 16-year-old Brown Baya Musazo from Elite School Shariani topped the county and the coast region with 426 marks.
To do architecture because it rhymes with what I like doing, which is art, drawing. And I would also like to tell the people from coast that this time we did it. We got good grades, and next time I also hope that we can do the same because we have shown that we are also able to get good marks.
The celebrations were held in many other schools across the country. Patronila Goren, TV 47.
Colorful celebrations there. Thank you, Patronila Goren, for that report. Now, with a total of 2,675 candidates with special needs sitting for the 2020 KCPE exams, the government has been urged to allow the special needs learners who scored 300 marks and above to join national schools. Mike Agwongo met with the third best special needs KCPE candidate class of 2020 and now reports.
Despite lack of school fees for their son Gibson Kibet Ndiema, Mrs. Evelyn Cheborion, a Mount Elgon resident, did not give up, but rather utilized every asset in her possession to see her son who lived with disability complete primary school.
Naomba serikali ama yeyote yule anisaidie kwa upande wa school fees.
She did not have the money, but Nalondo CBM, a special needs school, offered to take vegetables for school fees from her, a move that saw the boy remain in the school, and he scored 411 marks. Imagine position 3 among special needs pupils in the country.
Sikuwa nakiweza na waka hata wamekubali nilete mboga aina ya cabbage na aina ya sukuma. Na nikawa nimefaulisha upande wa school fees.
At birth, Gibson had no deformities, but along his life's journey in 2013, his life took a new turn. But the hurdle could not come between him and his dream of becoming a teacher, thanks to the great work from teachers at Nalondo CBM.
Mwaka wa 2013, kuna kitu ilifanyika lakini si kuelewa nini. Nikapeleka hospitali lakini mwishowe nikaishia tu nikiwa hivi. Nimeona kazi mzuri ya walimu na ningependa pia kuwa mwalimu mzuri kabisa kama hao.
Director and founder Jonte Kadelimaye says despite the many challenges faced by the school, the cooperation among the stakeholders brought among the greatest results since the inception of the institution.
We had 32 candidates, and out of 32, we had 17 disabled children. We have made this school an inclusive school.
However, nominated MP David Sankok, speaking on Friday in Narok, called on the government to ensure that all special needs candidates who scored 300 marks and above get slots in national schools.
Kama kuna wale ambao walipata alama ya 300, hao wachukuliwe ni kama wale wengine ambao wamepata alama 400 na wapatiwe national school.
Meanwhile, at Chwele Primary School, the best candidate, Kelvin Adams Katasi, scored 407 marks. The students attributing the success to hard work and commitment.
Throughout the corona season, seemed that we could not get such marks, but it's God's will and we really thank Him.
Through ups and downs during the COVID-19 time, they have always supported me and encouraged me.
For TV 47 from Bungoma, I'm Mike Kagwongo.
Beating all odds indeed. Thank you, Mike Kagwongo. Now, as the KCSE exam draws its curtains in 4 days to come, Education CS Professor George Magoha has said that marking of KCSE will take 3 weeks. Magoha was speaking this morning in Naivasha during the regular exam issuance exercise. Our reporter Willie Dennis Njiru has that story from Naivasha.
Just a day after releasing the KCPE 2020 results, CS Magoha conveyed confidence over the routine in which the secondary school exams had been conducted.
Just giving everybody a heads up that we still have, including today, we still have 4 more days of examinations, and that all the people who have been waking up early, starting with the teachers, center managers, and other people from the multi-agencies, we must not allow anything to interfere with these last 4 days of examination.
The CS hailed the teachers and security officers for a job well done, despite the few cases of attempted exams malpractices.
And you have seen how our children in public schools have performed in primary school. They didn't need to be given the exam through Mtandao. What the hell do you people think you are doing, those few people who are doing this? And let me just say that we are going to punish without any mercy those who still continue to try to expose this examination. For those people who have exposed the people who are exposing examinations, we are going to reward you, and you just wait for your reward. So it is like a knife cutting on both sides.
The CS, who was speaking in Naivasha Friday morning, flanked by senior government officers after supervising the opening of the exams container, assured that the ministry will enforce stringent security measures ahead of the marking of the examination.
And we are here in Naivasha, where I have found things are going on extremely well in a very organized manner. In terms of the provision of security for examination, I've commended the commander here, that he has made very adequate arrangements without problems. We have not found any hitches as far as that is concerned.
The CS also reiterated that all teachers and the support staff will get the COVID-19 vaccine. The Ministry of Education is already making plans to transport KCSE candidates into, out of, or through the 5 counties under partial lockdown.
The government of the Republic of Kenya, headed by His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, has made adequate arrangements for all our children to travel smoothly. These are the commanders of you can see the policemen are here with me. They are the ones who will make sure that the children are given safe passage, just like when teachers were coming to mark the primary school exams. In terms of the security of teachers that are going to mark the examination, the government of the Republic of Kenya has decided that we shall vaccinate as many of those that is possible, depending on the availability of the vaccines. But we shall start transporting them anytime next week, because this process is going to go on.
KCSE 2020 is coming to an end in 4 days. Reporting for TV 47 from Naivasha in Nakuru County, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Well, it's time to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with more. Remember, you can follow this live broadcast on www.tv47.co.ke.
Twende tukiuke Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongee zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali. Tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Nitajua nitaongea na kila mmoja wao.
Very good. Piga *444 utunukiwe Credo double.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
Welcome to Nairobi Christian Center Bahati. We are an Assemblies of God Church under Reverend Fred Gitahi as a senior pastor. We are located at Bahati, Makadara area in Nairobi. We run a virtual church service with online services every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. as well as the children's services from 10 a.m., teens and youth services every Saturday at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. respectively. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Nairobi Christian Center Bahati and on YouTube Nairobi Christian Center. Be blessed.
On the next episode of The Cook-Off Show with Alex Karani.
Welcome to my show. This is the cooking show where we just eat.
Come slowly. Wenyewe walisema ukweli. Wenyewe wanawake wanakuwa na maneno mingi. Sasa umeanza busi, umeanza kisho ya busi. Kwani yule busi de. You ready?
Wait a minute. Mimi uliniambia nikuja nichemshe kichwa busi alafu mnanipatia hizi vitu gumu na kwa kitu ya maana nafanyaga nini?
Shika hapa.
Unadhani nitaweza kumultitask?
Siwe sinasikia kama demo multitask.
Mimi sio mademu.
Saveri. Ni chita kweli?
Ni kama gadongoro yawe.
From a distance.
Don't. Please. We were acting. Wacha mimi niendelea kukula.
Wewe endelea tu kukula, mimi nishamaliza.
Endelea kuongea. Mimi unajua kukula ndio ilikuwa imenileta. Niliwaambia welcome to my shop where we just eat. Cooking is none of my business.
People to see farming as a possibility and not as impossibility. You don't concentrate your energy, your efforts into one section of the farm. We enrich our soil so that we can produce more healthy crops which are naturally good for the people.
Kilimo Diaries, every Sunday when the clock hits 7:30 p.m. Next episode of Coffee Home of Untold Stories.
Welcome back. You're watching TV 47 Weekend. Keep talking to us. Our SMS line is 22047. You can also find us on Facebook at TV47 Kenya as well as at TV47 KE. On Twitter, the hashtag to use is TV47 Weekend. Now, moving on, after 5 hours of what seemed like more of a confrontation than a vetting process, Senior Counsel Philip Murgor will be at peace with whatever the outcome. According to Murgor, it will be an honor to serve as the 15th Chief Justice in Kenya's history, but it will not be a misfortune either should he fail to clinch the top seat.
The search for Kenya's next Chief Justice entered day 5 Friday. Senior Counsel Philip Murgor appeared before the Judiciary Service Commission as he sought to become the next president of the Supreme Court and head of the judiciary. Barely a week ago, Murgor sought the removal of Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu from the JSC recruitment panel. Murgor was to be interviewed on Thursday, but the JSC response on Mwilu's fate delayed it to a day later. GSC defended Mwilu's stay in the interviewing panel, saying Murgor's petition to remove her had no basis. Appearing before Mwilu and her fellow commissioners, Murugor explained that there was a void in the office of the Chief Justice, despite Mwilu acting as CJ and undertaking all respective roles. Murugor upheld that his position was not to disrespect Mwilu, but affirmed that there are limitations to her capacity.
I don't fault anything that you have done so far. The wheel has already been invented. So my job, as I come in, if I, as you say, if God wills it, is to make sure it works.
We are not asking for a critique. We are trying to get to know that you have interested yourself sufficiently. We have already put those already. The work is done for you. For us as a commission, and for us to be able to assess you, it is to see what you have taken out of that and what you would do differently if you came in as Chief Justice.
I'm trying to make my answer simple. I would do nothing differently.
High Court Judge Justice David Majanja put Murugor to task over his past track record in the corridors of justice. Murugor defended his prosecution of rebel students in the 90s who were against the then government. The senior counsel also justified his involvement in the 1982 attempted military coup against the then President Daniel Arap Moi.
The four of them alleged that they were tortured. Am I correct?
I don't recall.
You don't recall. And then you were the one who prosecuted them, called several witnesses. And you produced a confession. Is that correct?
Just carry on.
No, I'm asking whether you just tell me. I want it on record that you don't remember.
I recall eyewitnesses and so on.
Yes, you recall eyewitnesses.
As to the specific evidence that was produced, to the detail.
Yes, but there was a confession.
Still on the ongoing judiciary intellectual duels, an activist has moved to the Constitutional Court seeking an order to stop the search for the next Chief Justice. According to the applicant, Member Ocharo, through his lawyers Danstan Omari and Shadrach Wamboi, a wealth declaration is mandatory as per the 2010 Constitution for the position of as senior as that of the Chief Justice. 5 candidates, including Professor Patricia Mbote, Lady Justice Martha Koome, Justice Saidi Chitembwe, and Justice David Marete, have so far publicly admitted that they did not heed the mandatory requirement. Another irregularity is how the interviews are strangely being chaired by a commissioner, Professor Olive Mugenda, and not the acting Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu as per the law. The file has been presented before Justice Weldon Korir for further directions.
Now, sleuths from the Department of Criminal Investigations have today raided the offices of the Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA, where until this hour they are ransacking the offices. Our reporter David Mudoka left the scene a few moments ago and now reports.
Well, Musa Salah, a very good evening to you. It is not quite a good evening here outside the headquarters for the Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA, where for the past 4 hours, DCI detectives who stormed this place have been combing through office by office, trying to establish or find evidence which they believe will be crucial in mounting a case against the top officials here at the Kenya Tea Development Agency. Remember, Musa, for the past 2.5 years, this particular agency has been at the eye of the storm for being at the center of dwindling fortunes for tea farmers across the country. So for the past 4 hours, that has been the story here at the Kenya Tea Development Agency, where we understand some of the top officials, including the agency's CEO, Lerionga Tiampati, wasn't here when the storm was being done, but almost each office has been, or rather these DCI detectives have been to each office, and we have been able to gather that they actually had to break in to the CEO's office. We do not know what they are actually trying to find, but it definitely is connected with what has been bad blood between tea farmers and the KTDA. Remember Musa Salah? Yes, that has been the story of KTDA, and we actually saw President Uhuru Kenyatta last month issue a directive that will see a major overhaul at the agency's top organ. And for the past few weeks, we have been seeing elections at various branches for KTDA, where tea farmers saying enough is enough, have gone to the ballot to try and bring in a new change of guard at KTDA. That has been it. But KTDA has actually dismissed or poured cold water over this particular raid, terming it as a violation of the law. They say in a statement actually released by KTDA at around 5 p.m. that this raid comes at a time when there was a court order issued by the High Court barring such a particular activity happening here. But these year detectives came with another court order, this time from the magistrate court, issuing them or granting them access to do a search around various offices here. So KTDA insists there's no way that a magistrate court order comes ahead that of the High Court, and that indeed that is contempt of court. No arrests have been made yet, but we understand that these particular detectives are not in a race against, or rather are not in any race against time. They are taking their time trying to comb through, find evidence which they believe could be crucial in bringing the top officials at KTDA to book for various accusations, including 1, abuse of office, 2, mismanagement of funds that has seen tea farmers in the country suffer for the past few years. That is it, Musa Sala. On behalf of my camera person, Noreen Mombi, I am David Mudhoka.
Well done, David Mudhoka. We are definitely keeping an eye on that story and, of course, update you as it continues to break. Now, after reporting the highest number of deaths ever recorded since the pandemic began on the 19th of March last year, the ministry began a new way of reporting deaths through audits of deaths recorded in diverse dates or even previous months. But as Zainab Mohammed now reports, the new way has brought about huge disparities in the country's COVID-19 death toll. Take a look.
Ever since the Ministry of Health began the auditing of COVID-19 deaths on the 20th of March, the numbers have not only become confusing, but a lot of disparities have seemingly emerged from the tally. For instance, on the 20th of March 2021, the Ministry of Health said the country recorded a total of 5 deaths in a period of 48 hours and 7 on diverse deaths. This is different from earlier on, when the deaths would have been recorded in a cumulative number of 12 in a period of 24 hours. On the 21st of March, the country recorded a cumulative number of 34 deaths. If all these deaths had been recorded in a period of 24 hours, it would have been the highest to ever be recorded in a 24-hour period since the pandemic began. However, this number was broken down to 17 deaths in 24 hours, 7 in 48 hours, and 10 on unspecified diverse deaths. Trend is seen throughout April, where on the 3rd of April, the country recorded a total of 20 deaths, 2 in 24 hours, 14 in the last 1 month, and 4 on diverse deaths. Another instance is on the 13th of this month. A total of 26 deaths were recorded, 1 in a period of 24 hours, 15 within the last 1 month, presumably the month of March, and another 10 on unspecified diverse deaths. Now, if you add all the deaths since the new reporting style began, that is from March 19th to April 16th, 2021, the number of total deaths recorded in that period adds up to 425 deaths. This number should be similar to the total death tally as at April 16th, 2,443 minus the total death tally as at March 19th, 1,982. But that is not the case. This gives you 461 deaths, resulting to 36 deaths that are unaccounted for. Meanwhile, the country has today recorded a total of 1,041 new COVID-19 cases, 343 recoveries, and 19 new deaths. Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Well, it's time to take another short commercial break, but we'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongee zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali. Tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Nitajua nitaongea na kila mmoja wao.
Very good. Piga *444 hash utunukiwe Credo Double.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
Welcome to Nairobi Christian Center Bahati. We are an Assemblies of God Church under Reverend Fred Gutahi as a senior pastor. We are located at Bahati, Makadara area in Nairobi. We run a virtual church service with online services every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. as well as the children's services from 10 a.m., teens and youth services every Saturday at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. respectively. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Nairobi Christian Center Bahati and on YouTube Nairobi Christian Center. Be blessed.
On the next episode of The Cook-Off Show with Alex Karan.
Welcome to my show. This is the cooking show where we just eat.
Come slowly. Enyewe walisema ukweli. Enyewe wanawake wanakuwaga na maneno mingi. Sasa umeanza busi, umeanza kisho ya busi. Kwani yule busi de. You ready?
Wait a minute. Mimi uliniambia nikuja nichemshe kichwa busi alafu mnanipatia hizi vitu gumu na kwa kitu ya maana nafanyaga nini?
Shika hapa.
Unadhani nitaweza kumultitask?
Siwe tunasikia mademu multitask.
Mimi sio mademu.
Saveri. Ni chita kweli?
Ni kama gadongoro yawe.
From a distance.
Don't. Please. We were acting. Wacha mimi niendelea kukula.
Wewe endelea tu kukula, mimi nishamaliza.
Endelea kuongea. Mimi unajua kukula ndio ilikuwa imenileta. Niliwaambia welcome to my shop where we just eat. Cooking is none of my business.
People to see farming as a possibility and not as impossibility. You don't concentrate your energy, your efforts into one section of the farm. We enrich our soil so that we can produce more healthy crops which are naturally good for the people.
Kilimo Diaries, every Sunday when the clock hits 7:30 p.m. Next episode of Coffee with Movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I have that singer, inspiring man of God, Sifa Favor. Karibu man.
Mambo. But I'll be honest with you, I bought my first land when I was 13, half an acre.
How much was a half an hectare that time?
Nilipigwa until the joints were not moving. Even the legs were not moving. Even the head, I think niko na alarm.
Most embarrassing moment when you're performing on stage.
Catch this story every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching TV47 Weekend. Now, a mother of 7 at Loima Sub-County in Turkana County is full of joy after giving birth to quadruplets. A similar case has been witnessed in Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, while Asela Nyanchera delivered 5 quintuplets. Our reporter Boniface Barasa has the details.
At St. Bridget's Hospital, situated 150 kilometers from Lodwar Town, in Loima Sub-County, Turkana County, is where Mrs. Arot Sugwar, a mother of 7, has given birth to quadruplets. It is a rare occurrence in the county.
Nashukuru Mungu kunipa watoto hawa. Niko na wengine 7 na sina namna ya kuwasaidia. Nachoma makaa, kushona mikeka, mkoma na hivyo ndio vile nabahatisha maisha.
The caregivers at the facility led by Faith Kipchumba, a clinic officer, were astonished since earlier tests had indicated she was expectant with twins.
You were expecting twins from the history and physical exam. But after delivery, we received 4 babies. The mother was even shocked. As a staff, we were shocked because we have never done such a delivery in our facility. We are still a small facility, but we usually do twins. But today, 4 babies, 4 boys. They scored well. All of them was okay. Examination for the mother was okay.
Turkana County Chief Officer of Health Augustine Lokwang said a move by the lady to deliver the health facility was keen in ensuring she delivered safely, urging other expectant women to embrace the routine.
I want to congratulate the mother, one for having constantly been going to the clinics and seeking prenatal care. It means that our people have been well sensitized in regards to risks and challenges that come with maternal health care.
Turkana County is among regions that hold on to home-based delivery services which have no capacity to handle complications. Elsewhere in Kisii County, Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, a young mother, Sela Nyanchera, has given birth to 5 babies.
Are you okay? We take them in. Are you okay to engage?
Speaking to the media at the referral health facility, Douglas Nyaoko, the father, described the delivery as God's blessing, saying he initially expected 4 babies.
Kuja hapa kwa Kisii Referral Hospital, nimemleta mke wangu akuja kujifungua na Mungu amemsaidia, amepata watoto 5 na kijana ni mmoja na wasichana ni 4. Sasa mimi nikarudishia Mungu ni asante kupa na ninaomba mwenye atanisaidia haki anisaidia, alafu ndio nione kama hii familia yangu inaweza endelea.
Nyaoko and his wife expressed concern over the family's impending economic burden in raising the babies and call on well wishers to help them. Boniface Barasa, TV47.
Well, indeed, blessings come as children. Thank you, Boniface Barasa, for that report. Now, two people have been killed and 1 injured in separate incidences in Kakamega County following a land row last night. In the first incident in Emichingwe village, Mumias West, a man allegedly hacked his stepmother to death and left his father nursing knife injuries, as Violet Auma now reports.
Shock and grief engulfed Emachingwe village, Mumias West sub-county in Kakamega County. It is alleged that the 38-year-old Amos Makoha descended on his father and stabbed him with a knife following a land dispute before pursuing his stepmother, who had intervened and tried to separate the two.
Alianza kwanza na mzee, akamuongelesha kidogo, kisha akaingia kwa nyumba wakati mvua ilikuwa inaanza kukuja, ikaanza kunyesha. Akaanzana na huyo mzee, pia alimjeruhi. Akamdunga kisu kwa mbavu, kwa mdomo, kwa kifua. Ndio mama alitoka kuja kuamua, akamalizana na huyo mama.
Mzee nimeenda, alikuwa amemdunga kwa mdomo, mkono, kwa kifua huku, tena kwa kifua huku. Ni visu tu, alikuwa anashughulika na kifua sana, kudunga. Si mahali pengine. Hata madhe pia alidungwa kifua. Sasa kisi yenye naona iliumiza madhe, alidungwa kifua side ya nini ya moyo iko ikatokezea huku nyuma.
Kufika nilipata mke mwenza amelala hapa, huyu akiwa mama Rispa Makoha na Boba amelala hapa chini, ameshaenda. Na mtu wa pikipiki saa hiyo nikakutana naye, ameshaweka mzee Wilson Makoha anaelekea hospitali. Na mzee alikuwa anatoa damu mingi kwa mapua, kwa mdomo. Hakuongea neno lolote.
The family says Makoha has been opposed to how his father had subdivided the land amongst his sons. They say he was demanding for a bigger share than the rest.
La mara anakombleni kwa hiyo kipande yenye alipewa haimtoshi. Anataka asongeze. Haya, na mzee naye ameshapea kila mtu haki yake. Haya, mzee akipata pesa kidogo, huyo anamfuata lazima ampatie na nguvu. Saa zingine anakuja hata na panga amnyang'anye.
Hii shamba yote mzee alishatupea. Kila mtu ameridhika. Ni yeye tu ndiye anasumbua.
The family is now demanding justice following death of 72-year-old Rispa Naboba.
Kijana ni mbaya. Hata mimi mwenyewe alishawahi kunikata. Na ni watu wengi sana, hata ndugu zangu wakubwa hao ametaka kuwakata mara mingi.
Mumias West Police Commander Paul Korir says the culprit has been arrested and investigations are underway. Makoha's father is nursing injuries at Bukaya Hospital while the body of the slain woman was taken to St. Mary's Hospital mortuary. In another incident, a 37-year-old man hacked his younger brother to death in Namulungu village, Matungu sub-county, following another land dispute. The culprit, Frederick Chebi, is at large after the gruesome murder. Reporting for TV47, I am Violet Auma.
And as Kenyans battle COVID-19, the situation is dire in areas around Tana Delta and Lake Victoria, where residents now face two more crises of food shortage and flooding. According to the Kenya Red Cross Society, over 1.4 million Kenyans are facing a food crisis in at least 6 counties, and another 60,000 are facing effects of flash floods, majority of them living in areas of Tana Delta and Lake Victoria. Daniel Masiza reports.
Two groups of Kenyans are grappling with two extreme weather conditions. On one hand, 1.4 million people in arid and semi-arid counties are facing a dire food crisis due to drought. On the other hand, over 60,000 Kenyans have been displaced by flooding due to the ongoing rains in some parts of the country. In a press briefing, Kenya Red Cross Society Secretary General Dr. Asha Mohamed also revealed that over 400,000 children in the country aged between 6 and 59 months are acutely malnourished and in need of treatment and nutritional support.
An assessment by the Kenya Food Security Steering Group conducted in February 2021 puts the number of people at risk at over 1.4 million people. These people, unless urgent intervention is done, are facing a food crisis, which is an increase of 93% compared to the preceding long rain season, and are in need of urgent life-saving support. The same assessment also shows that over 400,000 children aged between 6 to 59 months are acutely malnourished and in need of treatment and nutritional support.
The most affected counties due to drought include Turkana, Marsabit, Mandera, Baringo, Isiolo, Kilifi, Garissa, Wajir and Tana River.
This comes against a backdrop of less than average short rains, that is the October, November, December 2020, thus resulting in an evolving drought condition in these counties. What this means is that we could be dealing with two natural disasters that essentially should be mutually exclusive, drought in one region and flooding in the other.
Regarding the flood situation, areas around Tana Delta and Lake Victoria are the most affected.
Specifically Nyando sub-county, Budalangi areas, areas along rivers Nzoia and Yala, and some parts of Migori and Homa Bay counties. To note is that of the 11,000 households that were displaced in that area in 2019 short rains, at least 1,180 families are still in displacement camps. This is due to a combined effect of the heavy rains in 2019 and 2020 and the Lake Victoria backflow that submerged several villages.
The organization now needs over 800 million Kenya shillings to be able to deal with the situations. Reporting for TV47, I am Daniel Masiza.
Well, tension is high in the volatile parts of Baringo County as cases of banditry attacks continue to be reported. A Kenya Defence Force officer was shot dead last night by bandits in Makutani area of Baringo South. Laban Lekishon reports.
Baringo County continues to remain an insecure place as cases of banditry attacks continues to rise. The latest case was reported on Thursday night where a KDF officer was shot dead by bandits who attacked various camps in Mukutani area of Baringo South. The bandits are said to have divided themselves in groups and attacked simultaneously at the Kenya Defence Force Camp, General Service Unit Camp, Rapid Deployment Unit Camp, and the Kenya Forest Service Officers Camp, holding the officers under siege for several hours. The slain KDF officer is said to have met his death in the crossfire as he tried to repulse the bandits. It is believed that the attackers were targeting residents who are living in camps following an attack a fortnight ago when a 60-year-old man was shot dead and an 8-month-old baby and its mother were injured. The residents of Mukutani had fled the area in 2016 after bandits killed 11 people at Eldume camp, and after 2 years following the peace meeting, they returned. The renewed attacks are happening even after the Rift Valley Regional Coordinator George Natembea with the security agencies put in place measures including a dusk to dawn curfew in troubled areas and roadblocks at the Baringo, Laikipia and Turkana counties borders.
Mambo ya roadblocks tunaziregesha kuanzia leo tukitoka hapa kwa roadblocks zote zinawekwa pale. Kwa hivyo movement into that area itakuwa restricted. Ndio ilikuwa mwanzoni. The government is set to launch a mass disarmament program in the North Rift region. Lekishon Laban, TV47.
Well, 3 people died while 4 others escaped with injuries when a gold mine they were working on collapsed at Masambra village in Ogunja on Friday. 2 of the miners died on the spot, while the third, the chairman of the local miners, passed on at Ambira Sub-County Hospital while awaiting treatment. According to the villagers, the incident occurred at 5 a.m. as the miners were preparing to leave the pit. Pascal Koyu, who was in charge of last evening shift, said the 7 miners went into the pit at around 9 p.m. yesterday and worked the whole night and were leaving when the soil suddenly collapsed, burying them.
Wa hospitali mmoja ikisemekana alikuwa ameumia, aliumia vibaya sana. Kuna mmoja amepelekwa x-ray na kuna mmoja tumesikia amekimbizwa district Siaya. Idadi ya watu wote wenye walikufa kwa hivi sasa ni watu 3 na 2 wangali hospitalini. Sasa hatuwezi jua hali yao juu tuko hapa. Lakini pia Kenya kuna kuwa na uzuri lazima iwe na ubaya. Hii mambo ya maporomoko ya ardhi inakuanga haswa sana sana wakati wa mvua. Sasa sisi tunaomba serikali kama wanaweza tusaidia, watusaidie kwa zile vifaa zenye tunaweza tumia kwa hizi masimu.
Well, it's time to take a look at what is happening in the world of sports, and our sportsman Dennis Otieno is on standby on the other side of the studio. Good evening.